I'm Jeff Hogan, 10 TV Eyewitness Sports and Wall-to-Wall Sports. You're watching WGLH TV.
The 2008 presidential election campaign is getting near the finish line, and this looks to be another close one. Hi, I'm Catherine Emma.
And I'm Mike Feist.
And I'm Molly Devaney with sports, and welcome to this week's edition of WGLH TV.
Ohio has been a battleground state for the last 4 presidential elections, and this year looks to be no different. The polls have Ohio split right down the middle.
Ohio is such a key state in the election because no president has ever won the White House without winning in the state of Ohio first.
Because of this, many of the candidates have been spending a lot of time campaigning in this state. Both candidates have spent time right here in Columbus talking to voters.
And I'm sure this means very long lines on Election Day at the polls as well.
For some seniors who are 18, this will be the first year that they are able to vote. With the election being so incredibly close, candidates realize that the youth vote will make a direct impact on who will be in office for the next 4 years.
No matter who wins, this election will be one for the history books. On the Democratic side, we have the first African-American nominee for president. And on the Republican side, we have the first Republican female candidate for vice president and the oldest candidate for president.
Well, either way, this election has students talking. Casey Perano talks to students about their views.
It's such an important election year. Many students want to make their voice heard at the polls. To do this, many are choosing to do kids vote.
GLHS students recently gathered in the auditorium lobby to get instructions on Youth at the Booth. Youth at the Booth helps students get involved in the election process. The meeting began with a brief overview of their commitment.
I want to make sure that you understand the commitment that you've made. You made a commitment to be here today for 2.5 hours. You've also made a commitment to work on Election Day, November 4th, from 5:30 in the morning until we're done. It's probably going to be about 8:30, but there is a chance that you may be later.
Students then learned how to set up and run the election equipment.
And if you all take a look at hang it right up here.
I talked to Youth at the Booth coordinator Debbie Koch about who participates in the program.
We coordinate the Youth at the Booth program for kids voting, and we work with the Board of Elections and the high schools in order to recruit high school seniors to work at the polls. Anyone who is 17 years old and a high school senior can participate in this program.
I asked one of the participants to tell me why she got involved.
I think it's a great way to get involved in the election, and of course the money compensation is great also.
Not only are the students excited, but the coordinators are ecstatic about students working at the polls.
We're excited about the program because it's gotten a lot of students involved in being in the polls, learning what voting is all about, and becoming involved in their community. And we also have found that they have influenced their peers and also their parents to get involved in the process.
So when you get out to vote November 4th, say hi to the many Youth at the Booth staff volunteering. Reporting for WGLH TV, this has been Casey Perano.
Nationally, we may be getting a new president. However, locally, an issue of importance to the Gahanna Jefferson School District is the buying of the old Kroger's lot.
The school is still trying to nail down all the uses they will have for the lot. They are trying to do some online learning connected with the program. Aaron Clark has the story on it.
Open for business. Recently, Gahanna Lincoln High School and Gahanna Jefferson City Schools purchased the old Kroger parking lot. Currently, it is being used as a parking spot for Gahanna Lincoln students. So long as juniors and seniors buy a parking pass for $45, they are allowed to park there. But with plans and steps to the future, many new things are coming. I was given the chance to speak with Mr. Carter about his plans for this area.
First floor will be all retail, and it's the first of its kind. As I said, the first floor will be for retail, and the second and third stories of the building will be for the school. It's a public-private venture. Businesses will be able to lease the spaces from the school district, which can tap into the school system as well and be a win-win for everybody.
With so many plans taking place, many are involved. I spoke with Mrs. Shannon about who will be working on this committee.
One is any interested teacher who wants to be on the suggestion committee for the philosophy for the school, for the academic courses that would be beneficially offered at that school. We also have a group of community members who are working with administration to get their input. And I know that Mr. Carter has plans to involve students with that.
With so many plans taking place, we look forward to seeing what this area will hopefully soon be turning into. Stay watching. Until then, this has been Erin Clark reporting for WGLH TV.
A new project that the TV class plans to lead along with members of the high school and the community is the Honor Flight program. This program sends World War II veterans to Washington, D.C. to see the World War II Memorial. Blake Swanson and Leanne Castile have the scoop on the program.
Over 5 years ago, a program was introduced to Columbus. This program, called Honor Flight, was formed to recognize and honor the dedication and service of World War II veterans still alive today.
Honors Flight allows these veterans to visit Washington, D.C., including the World War II Memorial. The veterans are accompanied by guardians who go through training to help the day go smoothly.
The training is really twofold. It's to let the veterans have a good trip because these people know what's going on. Kind of like teaching, you're one day ahead of the kids. So we're going to take the people here tonight through a trip. We're going to talk through the whole experience of what they're going to see, what it's going to be like, what our expectations are, what they're going to experience with the veterans, what they need to know, what they need to do, and also to kind of prepare them, get them excited. The other part is to get them fired up, and they walk out of here ready to go again. So there's a part to train, but it's also to get motivated. I have had veterans, and Jim has too. They walk through the airport, they call their wife and say, I can go home right now. The trip has been, this is it.
On October 4th, Guardians arrived at the airport at 6 a.m. ready to greet their veterans. The veterans became fast friends and were soon swapping stories with other vets and Guardians.
The first stop was the World War II Memorial, and for many, it was the highlight of the trip.
Well, I think the whole trip, for me, was impressive and great because this is something I don't think I would have ever gotten over here on my own. But the World War II monument was well worth the wait, and I really enjoyed that. And I enjoyed the honor flight, which is, I think, a great project.
Former Senator and World War II veteran Bob Dole, a major contributor to the new World War II Memorial, stands and greets veterans from honor flight programs as they arrive at the memorial.
Well, I just want to say thank you. I mean, I'm the chairman of the Memorial Committee, so we raised the money. It didn't come from the government. It came from a lot of these veterans and their families who visit here. The government gave us $5 million. We raised $195. We got $17 million left to take care of it. And most every veteran you see put in $5, $100, $50. So we just thank them for all their help. It means we're just saying thank you. We're not saying goodbye. We're going to hang around as long as we can. The average age is about 85, but just a way to say thank you to a lot of brave men and women who were once young.
The next stop was the Iwo Jima Memorial, which for many years was considered the World War II Memorial.
The group took the time to take group shots of both the veterans and the Guardians.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
The final stop of the day was Arlington National Cemetery. The veterans got to see the changing of the guards and the wreath ceremonies.
The ceremony that you are about to witness is the changing of the guard.
Both ceremonies were treasured by many veterans and created many lasting memories.
I enjoyed the changing of the guards most. The reason is that I can't help but enormously admire the devotion of those servicemen who are serving in that capacity. They're just awesome.
Once back in Columbus, the veterans finally received the welcome home they deserved. With programs such as Honors Flight, hopefully our veterans and their service and sacrifice will not soon be forgotten.
It honors all of veterans, and they surely need honor. They say that there's about 1,200 of us dying each day, so it won't take long to get rid of the older generation.
Reporting for WGLH TV, this has been Blake Swanson
and Leanne Castillo.
Gahanna students hope to raise money this winter for a spring flight to fly World War II veterans to D.C.
Another group at the high school that is trying to help out the community is the Environmental Club. Taylor Ross talks to the Environmental Club on their projects.
With so many students in this high school, there's bound to be a lot of trash. But what about the many items that get thrown away when they should be recycled? The Environmental Club is working hard to bring awareness to this problem in the high school. Every Thursday, Environmental Club meets to discuss ways they can help the environment through GLHS and to collect the paper from recycling bins distributed throughout A Building.
We wanted to see if we could maybe get plastic bottle recycling for the school, but we want to start out small and maybe start in the cafeteria and see. We have to talk to front office and central office and make sure it's okay, but wouldn't that be so cool if something we can facilitate? And for every plastic bottle you get 6 cents.
I talked to Dana Honig, a key person in this club, about their accomplishments and goals.
This year, Environmental Club definitely has some huge aspirations. We're continuing the paper recycling program throughout the school, and we're actually trying to get it to C building, and right now it's only in A building, and some of the offices around. We want to definitely start a fundraiser project that's going to generate funds for the club, and in turn we'll be able to help out the community, whether that's plastic bottle recycling or community projects, helping clean up, or pitching in around the school. I don't know, any of those ideas. We're really trying to get it started and kick-started. And we have some great people and members who are trying to, volunteer their time and help out and generate ideas, and that's really helpful to the club.
Another one of the Environmental Club's main goals is to get the student body involved. I talked to Danny Mills, a junior who individually helps the environment.
I collect plastic bottles in my locker, and then on Thursdays after school I bring them down to Frau Gordian's room because she recycles them because the cafeteria doesn't, and I bring the glass ones home to recycle at my house.
While the environment doesn't always seem to be a priority for the student body, these key students are making a difference in the school, community, and world. This has been Taylor Ross, WGLH TV.
One issue that is a little more controversial is the use of cell phones. Many cell phones come with computer technology attached to them, and some schools are even allowing their students to use them in class. Alex Chen talks with administrators about their thoughts on cell phone use.
From flip phones to slide phones, and also keyboards. Students at Gahanna Lincoln High School have phones varying in color, shape, size, and features. Some of the new features that cell phone companies are introducing are texting, internet access, and multimedia. I spoke to Mr. Thomas on his views with cell phones.
I think the cell phone use in school is wrong because it leads to kids using them inappropriately, like on the test, giving answers to another friend, or generally disruption of school.
Though school policy enforces no cell phone usage, still some students break the rules. I asked Kirsten Smith for her opinion.
I think we should be able to have phones in school because we're in high school now, so we have a lot more responsibilities and things to take care of, at home, and then also at school, emergencies, other kind of stuff. And I have gotten my phone taken away from school from Mr. Thomas, the person who takes our phones. I just don't think it's fair if for them to take us, especially if it's a family thing or something we need to take care of. So I think we should be able to have phones in school.
There have been instances in the past where students needed to use their phones for family emergencies or lockdown. I also asked Jenny Demchenko for her opinion.
I think cell phones should be used in school because there were emergencies like last year when we had the threat and parents were calling the school. It was really crazy and no one knew what was going on. And it would just help communication in general for our school. And I mean, texting's gonna happen no matter what. Nothing's gonna really prevent it. So if it's like available, it'll be easier.
Can you hear me now? Good. Now that you've heard the latest buzz about cell phones in Gahanna Lincoln High School, this is Alex Shen reporting for WGLH TV.
In order to help students make connections with the school, the library has invited a very special author to come visit. Chris Crutcher is talking to students this week, and Leah Crosby has a story on it.
Early this year, the high school book club was privileged to meet and have lunch with the acclaimed author Chris Crutcher, who has written numerous influential teen books. His writing comes from his own experience as a child psychologist. Mr. Crutcher discusses how he first became interested in telling the stories of the disadvantaged.
And so kids that probably wouldn't have hung out with me much would come down to the service station, just sit around and talk. And so I would start learning about, other kids' lives and some of the tough stuff that was going on. And it always felt like I was kind of one of the privileged kids in that town, and certainly one of the privileged kids in that school. And I'd start getting to figure out that it wasn't fair, that it was, that there were, the underprivileged were truly underprivileged. So I think that's where it started.
His books appeal to almost every teen because they center around common dilemmas. He explains the downsides to required reading pieces.
What I think is good about my kind of literature is it's current. I mean, when I read To Kill a Mockingbird, it was 1961, and it was a current, and it was like, this kid is talking to me, Scout is talking to me. And I think if my teachers had me read some contemporary literature about people my age, and hooked it up with the classics, I would have understood them better and probably appreciated them better.
Crutcher's books are nearly all controversial because they have strong language and deal with issues of racism and abuse. He expresses his opinions about censorship with the following.
It seems arrogant to me when somebody wants to ban a book from material, because when you end up looking at the books that they ban, you get To Kill a Mockingbird, you got The Color Purple, you got a whole bunch of Vonnegut stuff, Slaughterhouse-Five. You have what we consider to be the real canon of American literature. I've never written a story that didn't come from someplace in real life, from a kid about the age that I'm writing about. So the truth of these stories is that these kids are out there and they have lives like that, and some of them have way worse lives than I've ever written about. And I think that when we censor those stories, we censor those kids. She taught me. She teaches me well.
That's whether he listens.
Reporting for WGLH TV, this has been Leah Crosby.
A group here at the high school that is a special select subgroup of the band called AKD has been putting in many extra hours to get ready for this year's season. Harmony Taylor talks with members of this year's AKD about what it means to them to be part of the group.
These drums may be silent now, but come time for the Friday night football game, they're full of loud and exciting sounds to pump up the football team and the fans. AKD, or All Kinds of Drums, is a drum line at Gahanna Lincoln High School. It consists of drummers and cymbal players from the marching band under the direction of Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller has been with this group for the past 9 football seasons.
Let's play through it and then we'll let you practice running.
In order to be prepared for their game day performance, AKD practices every Thursday from 3:45 to about 5:15.
Yeah, I like practice just because I like playing my quads. That's what I play in general, so anytime I get to play them is fun.
Practice makes perfect as AKD flawlessly entertains the crowd during the fourth quarter of home games.
They bring forth so much energy to the game, so it's always fun to cheer them on, and they always help support our Lions. Woo! Yeah!
They also perform at various pep rallies and other events. Not only is AKD enjoyed by its fans, but by the drummers and cymbal players as well.
The thing I like most about AKD is when we're in fourth quarter and we're right in front of the crowd, and everybody's just cheering your name, and everybody's just having a blast and stuff. It's pretty sweet.
AKD has been in existence for 28 years at Gahanna Lincoln. Today they continue to excite the students and the rest of the community whenever they perform. This has been Harmony Taylor reporting from WGLH TV.
AKD is a group that puts in more hours than the actual band. And some individuals who go above and beyond what is expected is Christy and Katie O'Donovan. Kelly O'Donovan introduces us to her sisters, who are this week's Student Spotlight.
Having a sibling in GLHS is not always easy. But for Katie and Christy O'Donovan, it is not even unusual.
Katie and Christy are freshmen identical twins. Both are involved in the same activities in and out of school, and both take the same classes. They even have some classes together throughout the day. The twins are very talented in the arts, music, dancing, singing, and drawing. I've talked to both Katie and Christy about a typical day in the life of twins.
A typical school day, twice a week we'll start out with Renaissance before school, and then we go to school from there, and we have math and Spanish together. We're in honors geometry and Spanish too, but we're also taking the same classes at different times. We're both in honors English, biology, I'm in honors global studies, and she's in band through school, and I take art, even though I still play my flute outside of school. And after school we usually come home and work on homework together. We try to get it done pretty quickly after school so we can go to dance after school, which is twice a week for 4 hours about each night. And we're in ballet technique, leaps and turns, flexibility, lyrical, and jazz together. And then we also do Jazz Elite together through our studio, which is separate, and it's on Saturday mornings usually.
I also spoke with Katie Chokrup, a close friend of the O'Donovan family, on her thoughts about the twins.
I've known Christy and Katie O'Donovan for a very long time. They're two wonderful girls. They show their excellence in their dance that they work very hard in, as well as in school that I know they both work very hard and pursue, and you can see that through their grades. Also through church, where they spend a lot of their time, especially in the choir.
Katie and Christy have greatly influenced the activities in which they participate. This has been
Christy, Katie,
and Kelly O'Donovan reporting for WGLH TV.
Katie and Christy O'Donovan have left their mark on every organization they have been a part of. Another group that hopes to make a difference are the LHS Fall Athletes.
Speaking of athletes, do you have a sports report for us, Molly?
I sure do, Mike. First, the members of the girls cross-country team have been putting in extra hours of conditioning. Jared Freeman interviews some of the members of the team.
The girls cross-country team got their season off on the right foot with good performances at invitationals and meets. The team went into the season with very high expectations. I talked to Coach Ziegler about what he hoped his team would accomplish by the season.
Yeah, we'd like to get our girls running their fastest times for the Ohio Capital Conference Championships, which are next week. We're trying to get a team to regionals, and then we'd like to get a couple individuals to the state meet at Cider Downs November 5th. And basically finish strong the rest of the season, have a lot of fun, and run our best times.
The team has traveled across the state to compete against other top schools in Ohio. The varsity team is young and should be a contender for many years to come. The team is led by school record holder KK Garber and track standout Megan McGuff. I talked to KK about the goals she has for both herself and for the team.
I want to go to states, and I want my team to try to go to regionals as a team and to get my PR.
Involvement in cross-country is a huge contribution of time. Runners give up after school time and Saturdays to push themselves to the limit. The varsity team is full of spirit as they cheer on the JV team, and vice versa. With a couple of weeks left in the season, the team is prepping for a run to the state finals at Scioto Downs.
For other sports, running may be punishment. However, for the girls and the Gahanna Lincoln cross-country team, it's a passion. Reporting for WGLH TV, this has been Jared Friedman.
The varsity football team is under new leadership. Tyler Ranney talks to the new coach about his goals for this year and upcoming seasons.
Here at Gahanna Lincoln High School, we have welcomed a new football coach, Coach Snowd.
During the day, Coach Snowd becomes Mr. Snowd as he teaches U.S. history for the first 5 periods, but transfers right back to Coach Snowd for practices and games.
When the U.S. population hit 200 million officially in 1967, President Johnson held a news conference announcing that.
I asked him how Gahanna has treated him, not just as a coach or a teacher, but as a person.
It's really been welcomed here by the community, obviously by the school and school personnel, but you know, all of our boys have been welcomed into school by all the students here at Gahanna, and it's just been a great move for us.
Last year, coaching at Napoleon High School and coming to Gahanna has not been that big of a change for Coach Snowd and his family.
Well, you know, football's football anywhere you go, but I think the bigger thing here is just a larger program and definitely a more diverse football team in terms of the kind of talent that we have, and managing it is probably the biggest different thing. A bigger coaching staff, a lot more kids, it just requires a lot more management.
Every Friday night, the city of Gahanna comes out and supports the coach's team. He talked about how the team has done so far this season.
Team's done fairly well. You know, I think at the end of the season we're going to be able to look back and say that we did some very good things. We may not have accomplished some of the goals that we had at the outset, but you know, I think that you know, we win our last 2 football games, and we're going to be able to look back and say that we did some really good things for a first-year program.
With 25 seniors leaving after this year, the returning players have to be ready for next year's season. Coach Snowd gives his expectations on the 2010 team.
Well, I think, number one, our expectations start immediately when the season's over. Number one, we expect our guys to take care of their classroom responsibilities, and number 2, they need to get seriously committed to the strength program. Our success and failure lies in the weight room, and that's the bottom line for us.
After a first year, Coach Snowd has done a magnificent job. This has been Tyler Rainey reporting for WGLH TV.
The girls' volleyball team has been very competitive this season. Brad Tarbutton takes us to a recent game.
One of the most popular girls' sports here at Gahanna Lincoln is volleyball. Every Thursday night, the main gym is packed with fans eager to watch their Lady Lions perform. With 6 spectacular seniors, all of whom are major contributors on the varsity team, and a coaching staff dedicated to winning a state championship, the Lady Lions have had a terrific season. I spoke with one of these seniors on her thoughts of the season and what she hopes to accomplish in the playoffs.
I'm Kelly O'Donovan, and I am a senior on the girls volleyball team, and our record right now is 14-4. We just started. We had our first tournament game last night, and we won, and we beat Westerville South, and our next game is on Saturday at 12:30, and so come support us.
It is clear Kelly is a big part of the varsity team's success. However, varsity is not the only team who has had a great season. I talked to a member of the junior varsity squad about how their season finished off.
My name is Amanda Render. I play volleyball at Gahanna for the JV team. We just won our tournament on Saturday. We beat every team in 2 games and won a trophy. Our record is 14-5.
It is obvious that both the JV and varsity teams have accomplished quite a lot this season. With a big sophomore class and a lot of determination and hard work, the Lady Lions hope to have a good season next year as well. The Gahanna Lincoln Lions girls volleyball team will continue to keep a tradition of excellence. Reporting for WGLH TV, this has been Brad Tarbutton.
In other sports, all 3 boys soccer teams went undefeated this season. This is a first in LHS history. Also, they won their OCC title. And that's a wrap for sports this week in Gahanna.
Thanks, Molly. And thank you for joining us this week. Tune in next week when Gian has some clips from the fall choir concert. Until then, this has been Catherine Emhoff,
Mike Feiss,
and Molly Devaney, saying if you take care of your character, your reputation will take care of itself.
Have a great week.